Morning, it is day 2 of the Easter camp. It's about 7 a.m. I managed to get about 5 hours sleep, so I'm happy with that. It's absolutely stunning outside at the moment. You can feel the temperature getting warm already. What day are we on? We are on Friday. The team are getting ready at the moment and we're going to be heading over to the camp in time for breakfast. So we're going to be leaving in about half an hour. The first class this morning is at 9:30 after breakfast, and it's going to be an overview of the early ecclesia. Then we've got a second class at 11, which is going to be about the spread of the gospel. So the main theme for the weekend is called Preaching and Living the Gospel, and Gideon's focusing it on the Acts of the Apostles. And then there's a rap session by Brother Lorenzo, and then we've got a bit of a sports day. So I'm going to be taking some sports clothes to get changed into, and then we've got dinner, games, and then an evening devotion, and then the curfew lights out. Everyone will be back in the rooms for 10 and then lights out at 11. So got a really fun day. It's quite ironic because in the UK, when you think of sports days, if it's outside, you kind of think that it could change because of the weather. I thought I would also add that I got a little bit cocky yesterday and got really burnt on my back. I think growing up, I've always been able to tan really easily, and I think yesterday when I got up quite early, I put sunscreen on, but I think I've missed my bag. I just forgot to do it because it was so early. So I'm feeling a little bit sore today, and I've learnt the hard way. I just thought I'd be okay, but the heat out here, the sun is strong, so I'm gonna have to take it a little bit easy today, and make sure that I wear my sunscreen everywhere so it doesn't catch me out. Get ready now and bring you along with me for day 2. Good evening, we are on day 2 and today has been amazing. So good. Where do I start? So we kind of kick-started with the classes today. It was really great to see how classes are done out here, how the children kind of interact and respond, and their level of knowledge and their responsiveness and light attention. And the children here are just absolutely incredible. They are such good listeners, and they know their stories so well, and they get so excited when you do the crafts with them. So they've had a really busy day doing crafts today, and I was due to do my lesson tomorrow, but one of the sisters was arriving today, and she was arriving just before her class kind of would have started. So Antonia asked me if I'd be happy to kind of move my class to today instead, which I think is a good thing because it kind of pushed me to kind of get it done. Yeah, I think it went really well. One of the challenges that I had personally, but also felt that the children had as well, was the afternoon class, just maybe like children in normal school. We have like an afternoon kind of slump after lunch. I think that slump around food, as well as the increase in temperature that kind of peaks around kind of between 12 and 2, can be really intense. And after lunch I just felt myself completely plummet in energy levels. And I was speaking to Shoshana about this because you hear that kind of missionary work is difficult, and you hear that it can be quite intense, but it's hard to quite fathom exactly what that looks like or how it feels. It's kind of something that you can only really appreciate when you go through it. So I was trying to imagine kind of what they were referring to, whether it was intensity with people and engagement, or whether it was just heat on its own. But one of the interesting things that kind of happens on camp in terms of energy and heat is you fluctuate throughout the day in terms of energy, and it doesn't really feel like it's in your control at all, because sometimes it can be dictated by the weather. So there were moments this morning when I felt absolutely brilliant and really energized and really engaged, and then around midday the heat increased exponentially and I completely crashed. I was really struggling, and it got to the point where I actually had to come back to the accommodation that we've got here and just lie down in a dark room for about half an hour. I just had a really strong headache despite drinking water all morning, and I hadn't really exerted myself in a way that would have caused me to have like an instant drop in energy. I was talking to all the children, obviously doing my class, helping out wherever was needed, but I still just felt this huge crash. And I was reassured by everyone here that it's very normal to kind of go through that, and it doesn't mean that you're not good at what you're doing, and doesn't mean that you're a failure because you can't hack it. It is just part of the experience, like acclimatizing to this heat. Even the children in Jamaica, some of them during my class were so tired, and you could tell that that afternoon period can be quite challenging. So I really enjoyed doing my lesson this morning. I thought it was a really good opportunity to have a go at teaching, and I was so happy with my activity and how the children responded to it. They had so much fun, and it occupied them a lot, and they were really collaborative with the activity and sharing and talking about the Bible when they were doing it, which I think is always really nice when it's kind of quite organic conversation like that. So I was really happy with that. And the lesson, and during the kind of, I think So on the programme it was like a sports day, and it was at quite a hot point in the day, and that is when I decided to come back and have a bit of a rest, a bit of R&R. The rest of the camp kind of cracked on with that and did some games, and then they went to a small beach area that's just on the camp, and a lot of the children went for a swim, and they were telling me all about it when I got back to the camp and said how much fun they had and how lovely it was to go for a swim. Just on a side note, a lot of the children here don't live near the beach or near the water, so they don't actually get to go as often as you might presume. So I was a bit surprised by that, and how happy and full of joy the children were that they've been able to go for a swim. Like go for a swim, collect stones. They were showing me some stones and rocks and shells that they'd picked up. So sea glass was another one that they were really excited about. So it was really, really cute to kind of have them fill me in when I got back, and I was a little bit more energised again. So after that we had some dinner, and then we played some games, and they were so fun. I just think games, no matter as a Christadelphian or just as a person in general, no matter where you are, it brings people together, and they're kind of universal. And some of the games we played here are games that I've played in England so many times, that Gideon and Shoshana have played or done multiple times in Canada. So it was just, it's just such a fun evening, and everyone was laughing, everyone was having fun, and it was just one of those kind of moments where you just feel like really present because everyone's just having a good time. And I just had a moment where I was just kind of taking it all in, and it was just so wholesome. It was just so lovely and just such a great evening. So did that. I have something in the morning called Morning Inspirations, and it was kind of like an evening wrap-up version of that. After that we stuck around, we caught up with people a bit more, and then we've headed back home for another night's sleep. So yeah, today I think has been the first day that's really pushed me and taught me kind of my limits maybe, or just took me back a bit by how much the heat, the humidity throughout the day can really jolt you. And quite interesting, like the way that it's very manageable for the first part of the day, and then it kind of just spikes like this, and then it goes back to a really lovely, manageable, breathable temperature again around 3, 4, 5 o'clock. But between 12 and 3 it is intense heat physically, and I don't even know how mentally, but it just is. It's really hard to explain. Being honest with yourself and not pushing yourself too hard so that you can kind of have a little bit of a rest and then bounce back is better than just pushing through and then burning out. So we'll see how tomorrow goes, but today has been really wonderful, and I really feel as well that a lot of the children on camp are fully relaxing into camp now. I'm getting a lot of the children like running up to me, wanting to show me things, hugging me, just being even more friendly than they were on Thursday. So it's really sweet. And one of the children today, one of the teenagers actually, he was like, when do you leave? He was like, we're really going to miss you guys. And it's just goes to show that it is that camp feeling that I had when I was younger. Like, you go on camp and you don't really want it to end. It kind of feels like the closest to a kingdom as you can find on earth, like when you're with your brothers and sisters, and you're not on your phone, you're praying together, you're eating together, you're laughing together, you're having fun, and it just feels so special. It has reminded me how special it is to have that fellowship with brothers and sisters. In ecclesia, it's brothers and sisters together. It is a small glimpse of what kingdom life could be like
with having fellowship with each other. So it's been a really good day. So to stop yabbering on now, a good night's sleep, try and get a little bit more sleep than last night, ready for another lovely day on camp. Bye.